Thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
It's a big pleasure. Now I'm good at the moment. And yourself?
Good, good. Thank you. I'm just so excited to get to talk to you. You're such an inspiration, and I'm just so excited to get this opportunity. So thank you for that.
No, thank you for so much for those kind words. I appreciate
It's
that.
it's
I'm
awesome.
actually just excited.
I'm so glad. Thank you. um, so firstly, I also just want to say congratulations. Obviously, you and your team had some brilliant games at the Olympics, and it's just been an amazing journey for you and for your team. And how are you feeling about that? Where's your mind at the moment?
I mean, at the moment, obviously not happy with the results,
The
but
result,
I
fine.
feel like yeah, no, definitely. But I feel like the boys played well. They put in the effort. It's just a bit unfortunate that obviously I couldn't go with because of my injury. But yeah, I'm just very happy that the boys actually gave it their all. And yeah, we're just looking forward now to obviously the start of the new
Fine.
season, and yeah, excited about what lies ahead.
Lots to come. There's lots of amazing things to come. And how long are you expected to still be out in terms of your injury?
So at the moment, it's just a couple of more weeks. So I think it's 3 or 4 more weeks, and then I'll be fine to play again.
That's so exciting. I can't imagine you must be over the moon about that because I think it's been a while already that you've been out. Hey,
Yeah, so it's almost over 2 months now. So yeah, it's been a
that's a
while.
long time. That's a long time. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what the next few months hold for you and for your team. I know it's going to be a very fun time getting back into everything. So I can't wait to see what that holds for you. So, the reason I wanted to chat to you is because I know that as an athlete, you are one of the people that has experienced, I would say, one of the most difficult times in terms of the pandemic. I think it's brought so much change and uncertainty to you and your fellow teammates about sports and what is going to happen or what was going to happen. At least things are a bit more settled now. So I wanted to firstly ask you, what do you feel the biggest change has been through this pandemic in terms of sports and rugby? What's the biggest thing you felt has been different?
I mean, obviously, just getting back to our normal lives and to just the training. So training is no longer the same just because of all the protocols that we have to adhere to. So in terms of that, it's just a bit different now because in the gym it's no longer the same. So obviously, social distancing comes into fact. So it's quite a bit challenging at the moment
I'm
just
sure.
because of all of the restrictions that we currently have. So I'll just say it's just different to the way that we bond and interact with each other now. It's no longer that you don't care about anything else. You're just having fun. So now you just have to consider everything. Obviously, you can't just play around with the guys or maybe
Yeah.
just high five and stuff like that that you
Small
normally
things.
do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's such
no, definitely.
I can't even imagine what it must be like because I haven't played group sports in so long. But if I think back to when I did, I can't imagine sports without, as you said, those small interactions, those little
Yeah.
things. But I mean, hopefully soon things will start to return back to normal as soon as these vaccines start getting rolled out. And but it must be a very interesting experience. It really must be.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask you regarding live audiences and spectators and stuff at games. How do you think that has impacted South African rugby? Do you think it's had an impact on the vibe or the outcome at all? I mean, it's just something interesting that I was thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's no longer the same. Just because of when there's audience and like the spectators there, it just gives the players like probably everyone that bit of more motivation, more energy when you need it most. Excuse me. So it's just one of those things of now it's just that one element that is missing in the whole experience of a rugby game, athletics, a soccer game. So it's just one of those things where you can just feel it just watching. It's no longer the same because you're expecting like the cheers and the
Exactly.
jeers of the crowd, the boos. So yeah, I think it's just that element that has been taken away from the game that makes it a bit different.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it should really affect
Yes,
professional
the
athletes in their
outcomes. Yes,
performance
yes,
and
yes,
stuff.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, but it's definitely a big factor that you have to take in terms of entertainment and just watching it.
Yeah,
in
and hopefully that will be something that comes back soon. Would be live audiences, and I mean, my dad and I are religious rugby watchers, and we used to fly to Durban and to Cape Town and to everywhere you can think of, probably twice a month, in order to watch different Super Rugby Currie Cup games. Like, we were always like that from the time since I was a tiny little girl, since I was probably about 4. And this is the first time we haven't been able to do that. And I mean, that always makes me think, I wonder how it must be for you as an athlete. But I guess what you said makes so much sense. Like, it impacts the experience, but not necessarily the outcome, which is how it should be. It's how it should be,
Definitely.
And I actually just have a very interesting question for you. So obviously most school sports and varsity sports have come to a halt in order to maintain social distancing and prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus. But obviously with that comes a lot of difficulty trying to maintain fitness, trying to maintain motivation, trying to maintain discipline, because it is hard, I think, to train and do things by yourself, to train for a sport, if you don't know when it's going to return or if it's going to return. So what I wanted to ask you is, do you have any advice for some of our younger viewers, our school students who play sports, our varsity cup rugby players, or netball players, or hockey players, whoever it may be? Do you have any advice for how you stayed motivated during maybe the harsher lockdowns when you guys couldn't train or play?
No, definitely. I mean, I've experienced that myself, obviously most of 2020. So the one thing that actually helped me was to write down my end goal and how I actually want to be, in what form do I want to come out of it. Like, if I'm not playing for a period of, let's say, 4 months, I definitely just write my goal down. So I usually put it as my screensaver. So then I'll just remind myself of what I actually want to achieve in the next couple of months, or until we start playing again. So whether it's your physical, mental aspect of your body, it all just depends on you. And obviously we all have different goals. So for me, it might be, I want to be fitter at end of the year. So then I'll always write it down, to just always remind myself that this is what I'm working for, and it's not about now. So that's the one thing that we all get trapped in, is becoming a prisoner of the moment. So whatever we're going through is how we see things, instead of seeing things of the future and how we actually want to be. So that was just one thing that actually kept me going, was always keeping the goal in mind and just enjoying the process of getting to your goal, so that so that you're not dictated by fear, rather by faith of what you actually want to become. So that's just the one thing I'd always tell people, like, just always look ahead and never look at the negatives of what's happening now. So there's always greener grass somewhere. So you just have to find it. So that's just the one thing that always keeps me motivated, is just I'll always think about where I want to be, not now, but in the future.
Exactly. Oh, that's so amazing. And you're right. What you've said is right. We're so easily trapped in the moment now and what we're feeling and what we want to do now, that we don't think about how these actions are going to impact us, either for the better or worse later on. And that's some really good advice. And I hope that our younger athletes, and actually anyone really, I mean, I'm not an athlete, but that's advice that I'm going to take. So thank you. Like, it's important to live in the moment, but also to live in the moment in a way that promotes our futures, I guess, and I think that you've really had to, I'm sure you've had to learn how to be super disciplined over the last year, probably more so than ever, because it's self-discipline. There were no coaches or other players to hold you accountable for training at home, or so that's also a big ups to all of you guys for maintaining that. It's phenomenal. And then I have 100%. One more question for you. This one is just something that I always like to think about when regardless of who it is, whether I'm talking to someone like you, who's a huge inspiration to me in sport, and just in the South African country, as someone who's so young and successful, and you're just growing your skills and you're just developing yourself each and every day. Like, that's a huge inspiration to me and to so many other South Africans and to so many athletes. And what I wanted to ask you is, who or what inspires you the most? where do you source your inspiration from? Because I know that you are going to be, and you already are, such a source of inspiration to so many athletes. So it's always interesting to then see, okay, cool. So you're my inspiration, but where does your inspiration come from?
So my inspiration just comes from, I usually tell people I don't have role models. I just have a wide pool of people that I look up to. But I would say my inspiration is probably my mother. And it's just, that's because she raised us as a single parent, and she's had to come through trials and tribulation. And I've just never seen her like without a smile on her face, irrespective of what's happening in her life. She'll always just tell us that it's never about now, but how you affect other people, how you touch other people. So she's always done that, and that's who I actually aspire to be. Is one of the people that when people see me, they smile without me even saying anything. That my presence just lights up a room. So that's how my mother is, and that's basically who I want to be like when I grow up. I always tell people when I grow up.
That's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And I have a question. Does she also have a really good throw? Like, can she throw a rugby ball well as well? Do you get that from her?
Nah, unfortunately, she used to play softball, so I think hand-eye coordination maybe rubbed off
okay,
some
cool.
way, somehow.
Okay, but that's so amazing. And I think there's just so many beautiful, strong people in this world. And having one of them as your mother must be an amazing, amazing privilege. And it also makes sense as to how and why you are the way you are. You know, you've been 100%. Stuck with this injury for so long, and you're so positive and so excited and so enthusiastic about everything, and just so excited to get back into things. And I think that also just shows that as much as you want to be like her, you already are, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mfundo, it's so lovely to meet you. I feel like I'm a bit starstruck right now, I have to be honest. But I was freaking out before the video call. I was like, he's famous, and I'm panicking. But you're so sweet, and you're such a talented rugby player, and I cannot wait to see what the next few months and years have in store for you. And I'm excited to see you back on your feet, hopefully very soon in the next month, as you said. And hopefully one day I'll be able to come and watch one of your games live if this virus decides to ever relax. But it's been so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to answer some of our questions. It's really, really special of you. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me, Kelsey. I really appreciate it. And thank you for everything that you actually are doing, and the message obviously that you're portraying for others, and the help that you're giving for others. And I just wanted to say thank you, and the world definitely needs more people like you. So it was wonderful. No, it was wonderful chatting to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I hope that we, once our little podcast interview schemes are much bigger, I hope that I get to chat to you in normal life and not via Zoom. But thank you so much, Mfundo. Have a lovely day, and just stay safe, all right? And I can't wait to see you back on the field soon.
Thank you so much, Kelsey.
Bye.
Bye.